Website hosting with S3. Let's take a little direction change for a moment and talk about S3 hosting capabilities. You've heard me say it many times. This is great for static files, images, large downloads, those kind of things. It is literally built for hosting. So how do you do it? How do you host a static website from S3? Well, it's actually so easy. I just want to show it to you real quick. I'm going to go back into my console. Let's go to S3. And I'm going to create my own bucket for this. Let's create a new bucket, and I'm going to go over to, let's go California because I'm close to there. And we'll go, the bucket name will be Jeremy's CBT bucket. It's got to be unique because of that, unique with an entire region, so somebody got to come up with creative names. I would think that that would be allowed. Good. So once I go into that bucket, I'm going to upload a couple images there. So these are our hosted files. Now, let your mind go. You can upload essentially any file you want. I'm going to add files. I've got two files I just put in my little image directory, the AWS series from CBT Nuggets and Fluffy Bunny. So I'll start the upload. Get those guys uploaded right there. Now, when I first upload them, I want you to check out the permissions. We just talked about that. So I'm going to go to the properties, look at the permissions, and right now only the owner or the creator has the full permission. So nobody's got permission. I'm going to leave it that way for now, right? Now notice as well, right up here, it's already generated a link for me. Now, they even add HTTPS to it, so SSL security is added. Now, you don't have to use HTTPS, but by default, it generates open and secure links, HTTPS, so you can do that. Now, ta-da! I'm hosting a site. So let me just copy that to my clipboard. I'm going to go to just an empty tab and paste that in there. Now, I'm going to be, I'm sure, denied access to that because I haven't granted anyone access to it. But I can come back here and to the console. Let's go right-click on that guy. And, well, there's a couple ways. They make it easy now. You can just say make public, or I can manually come over here to the ACL and say I want to add everyone with open/download permissions, and save that, and it does the same thing. So if well, let me show it to you. So I'm going to come back over here now, and let's do a refresh on that. Ta-da! I'm now hosting an image out of the Amazon. Take a look, out of the Amazon S3 data store. Okay, so let's come back over here. I also have Fluffy Bunny, so I click on that. There's my URL. Chunk, copy. Paste my Fluffy Bunny URL. Bam, denied. So just because I grant access to one thing doesn't mean I do it for all. So I'll right-click on that, go the easy route, and say I want to make that public. You'll notice over on the properties now that everyone automatically gets that. Come over here, refresh, and oh, come on. Come on. Don't you just want to take your little finger and touch his nose? So that's how. So bam, it's that easy to do that. Okay, now wait a sec. Hold the phone. This URL is pretty horrific. I mean, look at that. Jeremy CBT. But can we make this a little easier? Yes, we can. So one of the, you can also do redirection. Redirect to different sites from your bucket and so on. But you can also customize your name. The way to do that is through a little DNS manipulation. So check it out. I've got. I'm going to take you over here to my Bluehost account. I love Bluehost. They're like the GoDaddy that nobody knew about that is so much better than GoDaddy. So much better. But just a great cheap hosting and DNS hosting. So I've got a domain, chara.org. That's just a little personal domain that I have. I'm going to create a I'm scared of what automatically pops up. I'm like, oh no. So I'm going to create a little DNS record. We're going to make it a CNAME. Now CNAME is an alias record. Let's see, what am I going to create? Let's make it my site, right? chara.org. Now, I'm going to point this to, now this is where it gets a little bit more to it. So I'm going to go back to my Amazon console. I'm going to create another bucket, and let's create a bucket called, let's do my site.chara.org. Throw that in California as well. Now, this is the requirement. This must match your website name or whatever record you're going to create. I'm creating mysite.chara.org, so I've got to go in there and make sure that that bucket name absolutely matches. If it doesn't match, it's not going to work. So I'm going to create that and grab the URL from it. Now I could go in there and let me upload some files too, right? I'm going to add those same files. and start that upload. So I'm going to add a couple files to this. Now I could go through and grant the let's just make both of those public. Grant the individual permissions on the files and all that. But there's also a feature, so I can go to mysite.chara.org, hang on, come over here to the properties, and Amazon says we can enable this for static website hosting, which means all the content in your bucket will be accessible via web browsers when you point to this endpoint, right? Now this does not overrule permissions. Saying I want to do static website hosting doesn't mean that everybody has permissions to everything. It just means that everything is now available to be hosted automatically through this website. Now I'm going to create the index document. That picture was so awesome. Fluffybunny.jpg, I believe is the name I gave it. So what that's saying is when somebody comes to this endpoint right here, I'm going to copy that to my clipboard. I'll need that. It's going to automatically open the web page or the image fluffybunny.jpg. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to come over to my hosting provider. I'm going to say mysite.chara.org actually goes to this big old URL. Now notice at the very beginning is mysite.chara.org as well. That's how Amazon does this. I'm going to add that because it's not going to take 4 hours, but it does take a little while for that to propagate it. But what Amazon is going to do is now when they I lost it. When they see somebody come to my site S3 website, etc., 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 and they realize that somebody requested just mysite.chara.org, they're going to hide all of this stuff for me. So let me pause for just 4 minutes or so, come back, make sure that DNS record has propagated, and we'll test it out. All right, waited a few minutes, got a drink of water. Back, let's test it. I'm going to open a command prompt just to make sure that has all replicated. Use a nice little NS lookup. And we'll do mysite.chara.org. And sure enough, it has replicated. So notice it is a CNAME record. It knows that it's actually going to this Amazon URL that I put in there. So let's test it. I'm going to come up here, open a new tab, and let's go to mysite.chara.org. Did that right? Oh, fluffy bunny. So just like that, I've created a website that nobody knows. I'm actually now okay. If somebody really digs, does an NS lookup like I just did, will they be able to find out I'm hosting my stuff at Amazon? Sure. This is not a secret ninja operation here. However, how many end users are going to bust out a command prompt and go to an NS lookup and be like, are they really host? I mean, so this completely hides all of that behind that mysitechara.org name. Now this acts like a real website as well, so it is a real website. But I could, for instance, put a little / and do the AWS series. .jpg, that file as well, which it pulls that up. It's in that content, but it never changes. It's all just sitting there at my site. So this is that static website hosting that I was talking about. Very easy to do, very easy to customize it to exactly what you want. You now know how to host static content out of S3, which is awesome because you can apply that to so many things. Yeah, sure, the Fluffy Bunny was kind of a cool trick, but let your mind go. I mean, maybe you've got a very dynamic website that's hosted out of EC2 instances, or maybe it's in a data center that's not even related to AWS at all, but you want to relegate a lot of the static hosting to S3 so you don't have to worry about the bandwidth, the storage. Maybe you've got a big download file, maybe a 50 megabyte client that has to be installed on every one of your customers. Well, you know what? Why scale, your house or wherever you're hosting that from? Just throw the 50 megabyte download in S3 and then link to it from your website, which is hosted elsewhere. There's all kinds of things you can use this for. Really cool. Well, I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.